And we are here at SiGMA, and joining me right now is none other than Robert Dowling from GlobalBet. Now, GlobalBet, you're at all the big shows, and that really does show. As an organization, you really do believe that you guys are like top of your game. Now, what gives you guys the competitive edge to show that, you know, you have a product and a project that should be out there amongst the biggest players in the market?
Well, hi, thanks for having me first. And well, the presence aspect is obviously very important today. I mean, we have GlobalBet is an international brand. We've been around for about 17 years. And we started exhibiting a lot more in the past year, of course, primarily because we want to expose the product much better. We have new products on the market. And secondly, because we have seen the new trend in people, especially after COVID, where people want to meet face-to-face. There's this whole... I'm so done with virtual calls. I'm so done with virtual conferences. So we said, okay, let's set out on a road trip. Let's set out on a mission. Let's show who we are, where we are. We're not taking the biggest stands in the world. We've got to be a bit conservative with that, but we are trying to show people that the human element to it as well. I mean, we are in a business that sometimes we forget about that because we are used to using either slots at rolling or virtual games at rolling. So it is so much nicer to keep that human element running, where I sit down with you and other people who are here and shake hands, have a dinner, have a beer, and maybe not only talk about the industry or what we do, but also what we've been through the past few years and where we're going, and maybe take our vision further forward and explain to people what the product is that we are doing, because there's sometimes a bit of a misconception in what our product is. Some people call it esports, which obviously is a hype name. There's a lot of interest in esports, but we are a virtual sports provider, which is something completely different, and it is considered more of a sports book product and very much a retail product as well, which retains that human element as well, because it's face-to-face, it's people, it's real things, and real events happen.
Okay. Now, you guys have recently just opened a new HQ in Vienna. And so what strategic advantage does Vienna give you as an organization?
Okay, it's actually funny that you asked that, because in November 2021, we opened the office in Vienna. It's when I joined in November. And I can actually say that we're now opening another office in Malta.
Oh, wow.
So we're actually in the recruitment process of opening up the initial footprints of GlobalBet, which they've never had a footprint in Malta.
Okay.
So we've had offices all over. We have offices in Ukraine, Vienna, Barcelona, Liechtenstein. So now we're expanding that footprint to Malta as well. Malta still remains a very important hub. And Malta is still, how can you say, the center of most of the gaming activities that are happening. Okay, we're here in the Balkans, a lot of people, a lot of traction. It's nice to have localized shows. I mean, I was talking to Iman about this the other day. Localized shows are important, but nonetheless, Malta still remains, I would call it, a conference happening all the time. You sit down, you meet people all the time, and the chances of bumping into somebody at the supermarket that you've been wanting to see are much higher, where you go, oh shoot, I need to have a chat with you about this, or I might bump into you at some stand-up comedy show and go, Wes, what about that token you're doing? Let's sit down and talk, you know. So because the ecosystem is still so strong, we decided that Malta is where we would like to say open up our second base of operation. It's going to be mostly management in Malta, and we are also, how can I say, going to be investing more in the island itself as well, and the ecosystem helps us, obviously, you know.
Sure. Oh, fantastic. Well, that's good to know for Malta. So what are the hallmarks that define GlobalBet 3.0?
Well, I wouldn't say GlobalBet 3.0 per se. What I'd say is last year we launched a new product, which is our Football Pro product. The way virtual sports works is you get a football game, basically. We have many other products, but our flagship would be football. Our Football Pro, you have a virtual game that happens every 2 minutes. Okay. So it's a football game every 2 minutes. Now, what we also have is a full football league every 2 minutes. So if you're looking at the British League, for example, you would have on a Sunday, any given Sunday, there's a film about that as well, any given Sunday you would have 20 teams playing against each other the day, not Sunday, let's say Saturday, Sunday, the day, so you can obviously place your bets like you would be placing on a multiple bet slip, like you'd be playing on a normal regular football league, but are happening every 2 minutes. And our design, our virtuals, we have gone to the extent of capturing actual footballers, so all with the green screen, all with the ball, the things around them. We've tried to capture something that is a bit more realistic. So we're humans. We don't move always in the exact same way. We're not robotic in the way we move, and we wanted to give the image, let's say, the feeling that you're watching a real game. In fact, a lot of people that come to the stand are going, "Man, this is better, much better than FIFA." You know, the players, when they fall, they roll and they hit their knees. And when you score a goal, you don't see the ball hitting the end of the net. The net moves and balance. So we try to create a feeling from a visual feeling of this being a real game. Obviously, during COVID, this was sensational because there was nothing apart from third division women's ping pong tournaments in some country, and there was a lack of sport. So we're lucky enough that not lucky enough, let's say, we're blessed with having a product that helped a lot of sportsbook operators keep the flow going and kept going. So GlobalBet, let's say 3.0, is now getting our message out there that this is a brand, this is a product, there's no other product like this, and we are, I would say, ruling in certain markets as well.
So just for the viewers to completely understand, essentially what we're talking about is sort of mixing slots with sports. It's like a random number generator. It's
RNG-driven product. It's an RNG-driven product. But the statistics, the numbers, the weights of the players comes in from real games, real team statistics. So if Manchester United, like yesterday, they beat Liverpool, like what happened there? Yeah, but these things happen in real life. So they can also happen in virtual because it's a random. It will pick up seven or eight random. Yeah, thank you. Sorry, it will pick up 7 or 8 random events that happen within the game, and but if those 7 or 8 random events are pro Manchester United, let's say, then Manchester United will win even though Liverpool has the better statistic.
Okay. Fantastic. And in fact, the first time I came across what you guys were doing at GlobalBet was just a little bit earlier this year. And when you showed me the actual video, I was amazed. And I was like, no, there's no way that this could not be a real game. But it's something that I find is absolutely fascinating. And I'm sure a lot of people, once they sort of get their hands on the product, are going to be very enticed by it.
It's a niche product, let's say. It's not a product that works everywhere, I will admit that. But in the markets where it works very well. We're becoming market leaders in many markets, let's say. Especially with the launch of our new Football Pro, we have seen some companies who looked at virtuals as a side product are now looking at it as becoming their second main product in the market. We've seen a company in Italy, let's say, have a huge increase in the virtuals vertical, and we're talking huge triple-figure increases that change the dynamics of how much they're willing to invest in the product. Taking an off-the-shelf product sometimes isn't the right approach if you are a big. You have to make the product work for you. If you get an off-the-shelf product, sometimes it works, yes, it's good. But when you present it to your customers, when you show them what it's capable of doing, and you invest a little bit, then you will see the returns that it can give you.
Fantastic. Now, a quick question. Is there any other interesting projects in your pipeline that you can hint? Oh, no! It's all on the deal. Hush, hush. Okay. What are the other very exciting sort of broader picture trends which are happening within the iGaming space that are exciting you at the moment?
So, I mean, I'll be honest, I haven't been following a lot of content lately because I've been focusing on our own content, which may be not the right approach, it's true. But I joined the company 8 months ago. I've never worked with virtuals, so I need to delve into exactly what is happening there. But where I'm seeing a lot of trends coming, and you can see it from the show, from the amount of people coming to me, a lot of AI products are coming onto the market, which is good. I mean, today the cost of doing business is getting higher and higher. So you need a lot more automation, you need a lot more AI that can help you lower your costs. I mean, resources are resources. It's expensive everywhere. So I'm seeing a lot of trend. There are a lot of nice CRMs coming on, a lot of nice products coming on from that level, where they're creating player journeys that are really super interesting. But the one thing I'm seeing is that a lot of sports betting and a lot of sports betting products were never really focused on micro bets.
Okay.
So micro bets, if you ask me, is where I'm starting to see a move towards within the sportsbook segment. And the sportsbook segment, I'm not going to say has been obsolete, but if you look at that compared to the casino industry, it's a much slower moving, let's say, product. Today we're starting to see a push for instant games in sportsbook, jackpots coming up for sportsbook, micro bets coming in as well. So you're starting to see a lot of things which you didn't see before happening. A lot of new markets coming up. So it's an interesting year. I would say next 2 years for sportsbook will be interesting, especially with the World Cup coming up at the end of the year in Qatar. We'll see how that goes. It'll be a bit weird. No summer carcades in Malta. No. But it will be interesting to see where that goes. And I mean that's what I'm seeing at the moment. But other than that, I don't really have much more on new trends.
No, fair enough. And will micro betting be part of what you're doing, or is it already part of your?
Micro betting is already part of what we do. Quick micro bets, instant micro bets. That's something that's happening. There'll be a lot more development coming with that in the future. But obviously, we'll find out when we'll find out.
Robert, thank you very much for being with us here at SiGMA in the Balkans for the first time ever.
My first time in Serbia. My first time to Serbia. So it's a wonderful welcome to this country, and it's been through a lot, and it's lovely to come here and see how this country has risen like a phoenix.
I fully agree. This has been so far an amazing experience here at SiGMA and the Balkans, and we look forward to seeing you at more events, including Malta this November.